Hey guys, how's it going? This is Gersha from Technical Option Traders Inc. Hope you guys are having a great day. Let's start looking at the markets and see what's going on today in this volatile market. So a couple of things we want to pay attention to right here, right off the bat, is a level of 363 and what SPY is currently trading at, where we have a rejection right now around 384. Okay, so more importantly, what we want to pay attention to on a smaller time frame is this level right here, which is a 392, 394 level, right? SPY is going upwards on its trend line, as we can see. However, the up move is starting to decrease in volume. Okay, so there's no confluence here. Okay, as the price is going up, every time it dips, we must see a bounce in volume. So SPY can pull back to about 379, 380, maybe a little bit lower around 378. So let's give it that buffer room, right? Let's see what it does from here, right? So if we can get a nice bounce from here, that would be a great sign, and SPY can break through 394 finally and push its way up here to about 402. If SPY breaks through from here, it can push down easily to about 363. Okay, and if that breaks, that can move us down substantially to about the 350. Then below that is pre-COVID levels, which is around 329, 330. Okay, so far right now, SPY, there's no trade on it right now. For me personally, I've been watching it on this up move. This declining volume. Chances are this move that's going on the upside is going to reverse, and it's going to fail, and it's going to fail pretty fast. And the catalyst could be this week we have CPI print. That could be a really big reason for that. And then the next week we have interest rate decision by the FMOC. Okay, so we have a couple of interesting weeks ahead of us. Looking at triple Q right now. Let's start from our daily time frame. Daily time frame, triple Q is stuck on this bigger level of consolidation. As you can see clearly, this is a marked a higher low, right? This is a high point, but it's a low, right? So once again, that's the same point here. So this level is very important to us right now, and it's unable to get above that. And as you can see, the volume has been flat over the last couple of days, right? So if this is true accumulation, what we should see is we should see further buying and selling in two price points, which is 275 and 296, and prices range bound, and then finally a breakout with aggressive volume breaking 315 to 330. Okay, so right now, if you look at the 1 hour time frame, and as you can see, the same thing with the S&P 500, the triple Q has this upside trend line here with the resistance here. Okay, but as we can see as well, the price action is very, very flat. Okay, it's very flat. The volume is just leveled. It's not breaking out. It's not breaking down. So what we need is some sort of a break here. Okay, which is right about here at the 276 level, and we're going to see a breakdown to about 270. Okay, so if this breaks 270, but if 270 breaks, right, the chances of us going a lot lower are much higher. So this is a big level right here, 259 or 260. If this level gets tested and breaks, we're going much lower very aggressively, and that will basically be end of the COVID move in triple Q at 238. And so far the direction looks like it's headed this way. Okay, so looking at the Dow Jones itself doing the very same thing as we've been talking about on the S&P 500 and the triple Qs. The overall market consensus is very, very steep and negative. So now, some of you may have been noticing that if you go to the gas pumps nowadays, prices are starting to reflect a cheaper point. That prices are starting to deteriorate, but if you think about it from a year ago, they're very much up there still. So we have to be careful in how we start to understand inflation and disinflation. Right now, markets are trying to figure out which way this market is headed, and also we have Q2 data coming out, Q2 GDP data in the United States. If it is negative, Q1 is already negative, so in contraction. If Q2 is also contraction, that means we have two back-to-back declining GDP quarters, which will completely put us in a recession, and may force the Fed's hand to pivot in some sort of way. Okay, looking at the time frame, the hourly time frame on the Dow Jones, we got a nice up move here, and volume is dead. No aggressive volume here, but there is an up move. But most important level right now on the Dow that I'm watching for If this breaks 303, we're going to go much lower. If this breaks 321, we're going to go much higher to about 333. However, for me, 333 remains a critical level. As you guys can see, multiple tests, period of consolidation, then a breakdown. So this is an area that bulls must overtake and overtake quickly. Okay, looking at looking at IWM, we're getting multiple bear flags on IWM. Okay, like multiple. And even currently, it's also printing a bear flag. So there's no point to this. Okay, so if we look at these bear flags, every time so far the story has been it's been broken and it pushes much lower. So for now on IWM, what I'm watching for is a break of this level right here, which is 166. And that would be my point to start watching IWM. I would take a short below 162, and I would short it until about 152. So a 10-point move to the downside here on IWM. But so far everything looks bearish, and there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Right now IWM is sitting just at the the 2019 level, so pre-COVID highs right here, just barely at it. It's given back all of its gains that it's made. And so that's something that we do want to keep our eye on. And then VXX right now, volatility, it's not below 20 once again. So my key trigger point is 20, or what I call is a happy point. It's 20. Okay, if we can't get below 20, we're always at risk of a further downside move, and it makes sense why the market is holding this level, just because of the environment that is ahead of us with important economic data that is being released, right? So that's something we want to keep our eye on. But there is something interesting happening in gold. Gold has broken down a critical level. So I was stopped out of gold on my runners that I have left on at 175, and now gold has broken down this important trend line that I had. Okay, so it's broken down this trend line aggressively, and it has broken down an important support area, which is right about here, the 166, and right about here 163. Okay, now if we break this level right here, okay, which is a 160 level, we're easily heading down to 157, and if 157 breaks, that's pretty much a push down to 147 on gold. Okay, so that's something we want to keep an eye on. This could be a pullback where price starts to consolidate, but if you see this move down, a lot more selling, okay, than buying, but not really aggressive selling like there was aggressive buying here. So that's something I'm interested in to keep a watch on, just to see if we get some sort of reversal. Okay, looking at KWeb, which is China. Okay, KWeb has a nice up move that's been happening on it, right? But more importantly is the most recent up move, which is right here, which is what I was watching. It was getting very steep, but it was getting very steep with declining volume. Okay, so that's why we have this reversal here. But what's important for me right now is what the next level could be in KWeb and where it could go from here. So for me, what I'm watching for is 28. Okay, so this is a gap down. Okay, breakdown of a trend line, gap down. We want to see a break of 28 and a push down to about 24. If this happens, then China, which was starting to show positive signs of reversals, is gonna have the ability to give us a short-term play. Okay, unfortunately, that's just the way it is. That's what the market is giving us. And if we break this level with volume, it depends on how much volume. We can take a play to the downside to about 24. Okay, so stocks like Baba, Baidu will be hit, and they will be hit aggressively. Okay, so this was my analysis, guys. There's a lot of technical events that are going on this week that can move the market very aggressively. I recommend trading tight. Always keep your stops in mind. I'll see you guys tomorrow.